Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. I have today with me Sharon, who has had body talk sessions with me. And I love body talk, and I've spent lots of time sharing it and how much I love it. But I thought it would be valuable to hear from someone who has experienced the sessions themselves with me. Body Talk is a holistic healthcare system that looks at the body as a dynamic system model, meaning that nothing is separate, but all the pieces in the body, including consciousness, are in constant communication with each other and work together as a whole. And Body Talk is um, a gentle practice that basically uses gentle tapping techniques to help remove any energetic blockages that are getting in the way from allowing the body to heal itself. And Sharon's going to share a little bit about how her sessions went with me and the symptoms that she was experiencing when she first walked in.
So it was pretty dramatic for me. I tend to be a healthy person. I teach yoga. I've um, been involved in, doing some kind of fitness for all of my adult life. So I had this thing come up where I had extreme pain in my hip and back, low back. And it actually got worse with like at first I was having this pain, but then I had some other treatments and it got worse to the point that when I came to see you, I was walking with the cane, which I've never walked with a cane before. And when I walked out that day, that for after that first treatment, I remember walking to the car and thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this could actually get better because I think I was at a point of a lot of fear in my body, which of course when you're experiencing a lot of fear, you're in that stress state, your body can't heal. And so that alone was huge for me to just to walk out and go, oh, this could get better. I can go back to walking like a normal person and doing a lot of the things that I'm used to doing. So after the first session, I walked with a cane for maybe a week to 2 weeks. So by the time I saw you the second time, I wasn't walking with the cane, and I was doing other modalities as well, chiropractic. I started PT at some point, kind of later in the process. It might have been towards the end of our last session, or maybe even after that. But I
Mhm.
I really feel like the body talk, number one, every session I felt better. I felt my nervous system go, like, there was something that really shifted for me with my nervous system. But I felt better every time. And I felt like the body talk sessions were allowing the other modalities to work better as well. So that
Mhm.
then I got better much more quickly. So, to me, it was fabulous. And it wasn't like if you would have said to me, we're going to work on this, what came up or this or, that the different things that showed up, I never would have guessed that might
Mhm.
be, underlying. I didn't care, because I felt better. And one of the things too that I think made a difference that I've had body talk from a couple other practitioners over the years doing it with you in person, I really, because I think it was a physical thing and I was in so much pain in those first sessions, that to do
Mhm.
it with you in person and your touch was so soothing. And my cat's going to join us. Um, yes, body talk was the modality that helped me, but I also just want to say that your presence, your touch were a part of that because it felt safe. That's it. If it didn't feel safe, if I didn't feel like, because I didn't know you well, if I didn't feel like I could trust you, then my nervous system wouldn't have relaxed in the way it did. So I think it was all of it together.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, of course, by the third session, you were back to doing yoga
Yes. Yeah.
and there was no more cane.
No, I didn't have the cane on the second session. By the third, I think there was still a little bit, but it was, I mean, the ease in getting up and down off the table was dramatic. I know from the first time
Mhm.
it was over, like I think we did it every 3 weeks, maybe four after that second one. So just over that period of time, pretty dramatic change. Um,
Yes.
and then we also um, I had a bone graft from the hip that was bothering me 20 some years ago. And I had thought, could some of this restriction, because there wasn't arthritis in there. I had an x-ray. It was more of a muscle imbalance. And I had this thought, like maybe there's scar tissue in there. But I didn't
Mhm.
mention that to you. And then one of the things when you were muscle testing that came up was a scar. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And so we worked on that area and we took a picture of it after the first time and the second, or the first time you worked on it and then the second time. And there was a difference. And I just checked it before we got on this call. And I'm like, it's definitely lighter. It wasn't a huge scar to begin with because it has
Mhm.
been 20 years ago. And but you could still see it and it's definitely less. So something changed on a physiological level or a structural level, not just the emotional and the nervous system. Uh,
Yes, yes. And I really like that the body talk system is so gentle. Um, Sessions are very comfortable. You
mhm.
you got to lay down, of course,
Yeah.
and you stay fully clothed, so very comfortable. And there's no manipulation that happens in the body, no stretching, no pushing or pulling or anything like that. And when we do the balancing, we just work with the gentle tapping techniques. And tapping isn't a new thing, it's just new the way that Body Talk uses it. And so I think when you come in and you're in a lot of pain or you have things going on, it's nice to have a session where your body can relax and feel supported. And then, of course, me as the practitioner, I just work as the observer because the physical symptoms and everything we are experiencing is just the tip of the iceberg, and everything underneath the iceberg, which we know is usually huge from what we can see,
Nice.
um, is what comes up in the session. And we get to sit back and allow the body to bring that forth, and then allow it to um, heal itself in that moment. And I think it's a really miraculous thing, and it's changed my life, and which is why I'm so passionate about it. And it's supported members of my families as well. And I'm so grateful that you were able to also experience it, because we just met, briefly, and then I reached out to you um, to do Body Talk, and I'm so grateful that you were in a situation where you absolutely needed that healing support and that you were open to it. And now look at you,
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to yoga, living your best life, and with a scar that's now hardly noticeable.
Yeah, and the gentleness really, I'm glad you brought that up because the gentleness really was, I think, a huge part of it in that I could, you know, you don't always know, if you go to some treatments, is it going to hurt more? Is this, how is this going to feel? And I didn't ever have to worry about that. It was like I felt super relaxed after every session.
Yeah,
That really helped.
it was like nap time, nap time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story. I appreciate everything that you shared, because it can be a mystery if you've never tried Body Talk. What is Body Talk? What's my body going to say?
Right.
And um, and I'm happy that you took the time to come on and share that.
Oh, thank you. And thank you again for helping me get out of that cycle of pain. It really was tremendous.
Of course. Okay. I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, Sharon.
Right. Thank you. Bye.